Hello, my dear friends. This is Santosh Tamboli. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I request you to subscribe my channel and also press the like button. Let's start today's topic, create table in SQL. To create any table in SQL, you need to remember three things. The first one, name of the table. Second, number of columns and what column names you require. And the third one, data types and its size. So let's see the syntax to create the table. Create table, table name, column 1, its data type and the size. And for this particular column, what constraint you require. There are 5 types of constraints like primary key, foreign key, unique key, not null and check constraints. I will create a separate video on constraints, so don't worry. So likewise you can create n number of columns and finally you can write these constraints. So you can see here constraints you can write while table column creation, as well as you can create the constraints once the all the columns are gets created. So these constraints are called as column level constraints and this is called as table level constraints. So let's create the table employee. As you can see, there are 4 columns: ID, name, salary and department. So let's create the table. Create table employee. First column as ID. Data type is number. That means I require numeric value to be entered in ID column. Size as 3. That means maximum ID becomes 999. And the constraint I written here, primary key. Now what do you mean by primary key? That ID column should not contain any null value and also it should not contain any repeated value. So these are the characteristics of primary key constraint. Second column is name. Data type is varchar2. That means name contains variable character and the maximum characters allowed becomes 20. Third column is salary. Data type is number 7,2. Now what do you mean by this 2? After decimal point, 2 digits are allowed. Last column is department where employee is working and that is also variable character. That's why data type becomes varchar2 and the maximum characters are 20. So when I execute this command, my employee table gets created, but that table doesn't contain any data. So to insert the data into the employee table, I need to use insert command. So that we will see later on. Now once the table is created, I want to see the structure of my table. Now what do you mean by structure? It gives the name of the columns, what data type and the size of those data types, and are there any constraints for any particular columns. So to get this information, I need to use the command called as describe, or in short we can write this as DSC. So the syntax for the describe is describe table name or DSC table name, and the example is describe employee or DSC employee. So this is from my side. Again I request you to subscribe my channel and press the like button. That gives an inspiration for me to create more interesting videos for you. Thank you very much.